Je suis trop impatient de voir cet épisode. Pour vous resituer les faits, cet épisode est un épisode de paternity courte. Le but de ce que vous allez voir, c'est une réelle émission qui a existé aux États-Unis. D'ailleurs, est-ce qu'elle existe encore? Je ne sais pas. Où l'homme et la femme sont en désaccord sur qui est le père. On va passer devant un juge pour écouter les deux, voir ce qu'ils disent, machin. C'est américain. Donc du coup, c'est un peu en mode You are not the father, exactement. C'est en mode très... on s'en fout de la vie privée des gens, quoi, tu vois. Il y a des sous-titres, et on peut remercier donc la compagne de Brita d'avoir fait ça. Et nous sommes partis pour cet épisode qui va vous mettre très mal.
Hey, salut! La vidéo que tu es sur le point de regarder est issue d'un live Twitch. Alors si tu ne veux rien louper, check la description et rejoins-nous. Bisous ma gueule.
You may be seated.
Asseyez-vous l'ami.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Miller versus Rasmussen.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Kikou.
Miss Miller, you're here to...
Alors, vous venez pour prouver que votre ex Scotty Rasmussen n'est pas le père de votre fille de 3 ans, Zaylee Rasmussen.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you've been in an ongoing court battle over custody and have petitioned the court several times for a DNA test, all of which have been denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, j'ai le somme. Mais attends, mais pourquoi est-ce qu'il a refusé, lui? Dites que la vraie raison pour laquelle Miss Miller
You claim the real reason Miss Miller is denying
prétend que vous n'êtes pas le père, c'est parce qu'elle peut pas vous blairer.
Yes, Your Honor.
why is Miss Miller saying you're not Zaylee's father?
Your Honor, I believe it's just out of pure hatred. She just doesn't want me to have visitation. I drive 160 miles every other weekend just to pick up my daughter and drop her off. That's about 10,000 miles. That's...
Quoi? Ah, tu m'étonnes que la bagnole, elle est en PLS.
She doesn't have a driver's license. She doesn't...
Elle a pas le permis, cette sale race. Donc elle n'a aucun moyen de l'amener chez moi.
She doesn't have any way to meet me halfway.
You say she hates you.
She hates...
Why does she hate you?
Parce qu'à la fin de notre relation, quand c'est vraiment parti en sbeul, je suis allé jouer au Scrabble avec une autre zouze. Oh, hell no!
Je vous crois.
Is that true, Miss Miller?
No.
Hein? Mais il est en train d'avouer quelque chose qui irait contre lui.
It's not.
No.
Tell
It's
me
not,
what
no.
you believe to be true in this situation.
J'étais en colère qu'il m'ait
Very
trompé.
mad at him for being a cheater. He cheated on me.
Ok, donc ça c'est vrai, surtout qu'il l'a fait quasiment toute la durée de notre relation. Aïe!
No, I do not hate him because of that. I lost my respect for him, yes.
Ça paraît logique, effectivement, oui, bien sûr.
He says this is about visitation, too. He loves his daughter, but you don't want him to have the visitation. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is that?
Because I believe that the only reason why he wants the visitation is to claim her on his taxes.
Pour les indemnisations? Ah oui, parce que du coup, aux yeux de la loi, il serait considéré comme son père. Donc du coup, il aurait les indemnités. C'est pas vrai d'abord, non mais dis donc.
That is the furthest thing from the truth. I want my visitation because my daughter means the world to me. I want to be in her life as much as I possibly can.
I mean, if he's driving 160 miles each way every other weekend, the money he would get in his taxes, he's spending in gas.
J'avoue qu'il va pas faire grand chose d'autre avec, quoi. Vu le trajet qu'il fait, Voilà.
I'm paying my child support. I have my child support payments.
Et en plus, tu paies la pension alimentaire.
Plus an additional $3 fee, plus an additional $60 annual fee just to pay my child support.
You pay $50 a week.
Just under $50 a week. Plus that $3 with every check, plus another $60 every year to the state.
And that's not very much to get what she needs.
Is
I mean, at the end of the month...
Is it enough to buy her clothes so she doesn't have to wear cut-off sweatpants in the same...
Oh, sac à patate, frère. Aïe.
T-shirt every time I pick her up?
I do that
La go se perd dans ses explications.
because I don't want... It's
Is
just what it
it
is.
enough money to buy her underwear so you don't got to keep putting her in diapers at 4
I
years
have
old?
underwear for her. And she is not in diapers, she is in pull-ups, she is in training right now. She is having problems.
She is
But
not
what he's
happy.
saying, Miss Miller, is it's clearly not about money if he's paying his child support. And he also spends money coming to see her. What is this really about for you?
Elle peut juste pas voir sa gueule, en fait. Je pense qu'elle est en mode, vas-y, c'est fini pour moi, lui et moi dans la vie, c'est bon, quoi, point barre.
Don't want him involved in this child's life.
Because I still believe that he is not hers.
Oui, mais enfin, qu'il soit le père ou pas, je veux dire, Si, il s'en occupe bien. Après, vous vous aimez plus, apparemment. Vous avez l'air d'être en grief avec lui.
You don't believe he's her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So explain to me why.
On la développe alors.
When she was conceived in March of...
Quand elle a été conçue. Oh, le terme qu'elle utilise. Quand elle a été faite par amour.
2011, he wasn't even in the same state. He was in Vegas. And at that time in March, I wasn't even with him. I was with somebody else because he broke up with me because he cheated on me.
I'll be the first to admit it was a mistake.
Ouais, mais tu sais bien que ce qui se passe à Vegas reste à Vegas. Merde aussi, il fallait faire un effort.
Okay, we've gotten the fact that you two have...
Vous êtes des héros. Tu vous séparez et vous remettez
an
ensemble.
on and off relationship that has infidelity woven through.
Et en plus,
I
ok.
understand that. Miss Miller, you
Capito Pépito. Alors, vous dites d'avoir été avec un autre gars.
and you believe that you were intimate with that other person during the time Zaylee was conceived and Mr. Rasmussen was all the way in Las Vegas.
Yes, Your Honor.
But clearly, at some point, Mr. Rasmussen either thought or was informed that he was her biological father because he is paying child support, he's still driving 160 miles each way, and she has his last name.
Bah ouais, c'est bizarre un peu quand même. En fait. Ça devrait pas être comme ça que ça marche.
Yes.
Mr. Rasmussen, fill me in. At what point were you ever told that you were not her biological father?
I believed I was, and still believe, I was the only biological father until about 5 or 6 months or so, give or take, after she was born. We were at family court, talking to the family court commissioner about custody.
Merci pour la traduction. À propos de la guerre des tout
and the things that go along with that, like where she'd be going to school, her doctor, and all that. And Miss Miller brings it up that I could possibly not be the father because of another man that was involved, and she gave some date, I can't remember the specifics. One of the people we were talking to with the family court commissioner did the math, and it turns out that would be a 10-month pregnancy.
Les calculs sont pas bons, Kevin.
And that don't make sense to me.
Because it was so long ago, I was confused.
Charles Johnny Hallyday était encore en vie. J'étais du père. What the fuck?
Confused about the dates, but now that I went through both of our Facebooks, I went through all
Les dates sur nos comptes Facebook.
of my notes, all of
J'ai regardé mes
anything
publications,
that I
tout
wrote
ça.
down, and I figured out that
C'est là que j'ai compris.
she was conceived in March, and it was a 9-month pregnancy.
Mais attends, mais comment est-ce que même elle fait pour pas être sûre? C'est trop bizarre comme délire.
Up until Zaylee was 5 or 6 months old, you believed you were the only possible biological father.
That is correct. We never broke up. There was never any, that I can recall, there was never any split there.
Comment ça, tu t'en rappelles pas? Dans un sens, on a fait le yo-yo. Ok, d'accord.
The relationship was on and off in a sense, but we never.
But by that time, she was born, so she already had your name.
Yep, I was at.
You're at the birth?
I was at the birth. I was at every single doctor's appointment. When Zaylee was born, you were at a doctor's appointment. I was at home because I had to work that day. I was at my job as a cashier. I got a phone call and I answered it. They said she was going into labor. I said okay. I hung up the phone. I quickly finished up as fast as I could with that particular customer. I turned off my checkout light. Told the next customer in line that something came up.
Ok.
They had to go to another line. I went up to my manager, my immediate supervisor, said, hey, I gotta go, my girlfriend's in labor. I
Sortir un humain de sa tchouch.
went home, quickly changed my clothes, and I drove about 45 miles through a winded, wooded road in Wisconsin in December, mind you, so it was about a foot of snow on the ground. I made it to that hospital in less than 35 minutes. I beat her to the hospital. And I was there from the moment she got there to the moment she was discharged. I called my boss at work and said, hey, I got to take some days off. I don't care if you fire me or whatever, but I got to stay here. My daughter's being born.
En vrai, le mec, il en veut quoi. Genre, il veut être là, tu vois. Il veut être présent. Il veut être papa de cette gamine.
That's a lie. After she was born.
That was an amazing story. You say that was a lie?
Ta gueule, c'était émouvant. Vous dites qu'il abuse de ouf?
Yes, it is.
How do you remember it?
Comment vous vous en
After she
souvenez-vous? Après
was
sa naissance,
born,
il est parti.
He was gone. He ran out of the room.
Il s'est barré de la pièce et je l'ai pas vu pendant 20 minutes.
I didn't see him for 20 minutes after that. While
Pendant que je me faisais déchirer les tripes, lui il était zépo sur un lit d'hôpital.
On one of those hospital cot beds.
Bah tu voulais qu'il fasse quoi en fait? Sur son ordi? On veut pas savoir ce qu'il regardait.
On his computer in the corner, not paying attention to me, in his own little.
En mode balèque dans sa bulle, mais tu peux pas savoir comment tu vas réagir à un moment où ta femme va accoucher en fait.
I admit I was
Bon ok, j'étais sur mon ordi, mais attends bébé, je peux tout expliquer.
on my computer, but that was far from it. I had to find a way to
Je devais trouver un moyen de me calmer parce que j'étais surexcité.
calm myself because I was so excited. I was so excited to be a
J'allais devenir
father.
papa.
How often does
Et surtout, à quel moment j'arrive avant elle à l'hôpital? Genre, qui fait ça? Voilà, commence pas à t'encenser. C'est très bien, mais t'encense pas trop.
a man beat the woman to the hospital?
Do you dispute, Miss?
Vous constatez, Madame Miller, le fait qu'il avait hâte de devenir papa?
I really didn't see
Franchement, il avait pas l'air joasse.
much excitement.
You didn't.
No.
Non.
Did he beat you to the hospital?
Est-ce qu'il est arrivé avant vous à l'hosto? Oui, parce que je devais attendre que ma tante vienne me chercher.
What was the problem?
C'est quoi le problème ici en fait? C'est quoi? Je vais le goumer, dis-moi. Dis-moi, c'est quoi le problème? Dis-moi.
Exactly. You let him sign the birth
Vous le laissez signer le certificat de naissance au calme.
certificate.
I gave
J'ai donné mon nom de famille à la petite.
I gave my daughter my last name.
Because we were engaged.
Parce qu'on était fiancés et que je pensais qu'on allait se marier.
I thought we were going to have a happy life.
La petite maison dans la
and
prairie, ouais.
raise
Notre
our
fille
daughter.
d'amour, d'amour et d'eau
Until
fraîche.
about 3 months after
Jusqu'à peu près ces 3... Comment ça, jusqu'à peu près ces 3 mois?
she was born, one of his friends
Ah, quand l'un de ses potes a poucave comme quoi il s'envoyait en l'air avec d'autres timpes.
going to
En mode c'est la fête des MST, vas-y on fait une choucroute de poils.
and after that I was just
Du coup j'en ai eu marre. Il est où ce potentiel père biologique? C'est vrai ça? Hein? Il est où?
I'm not even quite sure. After we broke up, he changed his number, he moved, he pretty much disappeared.
Il a acheté Ulé, si vous voyez ce que je veux dire.
I have tried to find him, I have tried to get a hold of him, and I can't find him.
But you keep saying, Mr. Rasmussen cheated. He did this. He did that. And as wrong as that may be, you also slept with somebody else.
We weren't even dating then.
Alors là, attention madame. Dans ce qu'elle dit, elle dit l'avoir fait quand elle l'a appris. Malgré elle, à cause d'un pote qui a poucave. Ça la regarde. Si elle veut se faire déchirer après par d'autres hommes, elle fait ce qu'elle veut.
I was single at that time because he was with this other lady and I was the side chick, which I didn't even really know about.
All of this is happening, and this man is continuing to step up to the plate like he has a daughter on the way, like he has a newborn baby.
Ça, c'est bien vrai, ça.
Even through the breakup, you all are making custody and visitation arrangements, but you know deep down there's another possible father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why wait so long to tell him?
I told him the first time that we had a court date, but the courts threw it out.
Qui ça, on? Même avant que vous ayez pu prévenir qui que ce soit, mais qui ça, on?
And they
Or
passed-
you tell anybody in court. What about just telling him?
Quand même le public, qui n'est pas un public à la base, hein. Mais quand même le public applaudit la juge.
I want to understand that. Why was it that you were keeping this information so close to your hip until 5-6 months after Zaylee was born?
The more she grew up, the more I started noticing more of her features, the more she started looking like the other guy.
She
That-
looks exactly like I did when I was 3 years old. I have a picture of me when I was 3 and a picture of her from just the other
Let
day.
me see that. And so this is a picture of
Ouais, le naso, mais je suis désolé, y a pas la mâchoire, y a pas le front, frère.
Zaylee on the left, and you, as a child, Mr. Rasmussen, on the right.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And you say you see a distinct similarity.
Yes, I do.
Do you see it, Ms. Miller? Mm-mm. You don't?
I don't.
You feel like Zaylee looks like the other gentleman you were
Yes.
intimate with.
Look, we even have the same chin. I'm just
Non, justement, le nez, oui, pas le menton, justement.
noticing that now. Our chin looks exactly the same. We have the same dimples.
You are insisting that Mr. Rasmussen is not the child's father, and yet you're receiving child support from Mr. Rasmussen.
Et j'avoue que là, si tu profites de la pension depuis tout ce temps sans dire quoi que ce soit...
Have you petitioned the court to have Mr. Rasmussen taken off of child support?
I have told him a couple times that if he would just sign her over to me, that he wouldn't have to pay child support anymore.
I'm not
If
going to
he
do
would
that.
just-
I'm not going to give up that easy. I'm fighting for what I know is mine.
C'est ma fille, ma bataille, fallait pas qu'elle s'en aille.
I know she's mine.
So, Mr.
Et c'est fou parce que dans des moments un peu où tu sais où tu sais pas trop, l'histoire est galère, c'est super chiant. Lui, il veut quand même donner de la thune pour cet enfant, quoi. C'est un délire. Hein.
How is your relationship with Zaylee?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Every time I get her, I try to make the best I can out of it. Even if I don't have any money from, you know, having to put gas in the car and pay the child support and everything, I try to do as much as I can with her, whether it be something as little as, you know, going to the park or going fishing or going to, you know, an amusement.
On va chasser le bouquetin.
Memory at that age, you know, means more than anybody can possibly fathom.
Putain, il a l'air génial quand même. Même si bon, effectivement, on n'oublie pas qu'il a fauté à Las Vegas, mais bon, ce qui se passe à Las Vegas reste à Las Vegas. Il a l'air d'être quand même un homme très très dévoué. Hein.
And I just try to make the absolute best out of what I can with what I have.
So, Mr. Rasmussen, let me ask you, are you prepared? Have you prepared yourself either way? If this child is my biological child or if she isn't, have you thought about both alternatives?
In a sense, yes. If it goes the way I'm hoping and I know in my heart that it will, that she is mine, I'm just going to be overjoyed that all the drama and the fighting and all that kind of stuff is behind me.
Normal.
If it goes the other way, I don't think if I had all the time in the world, I could, you know, prepare myself for such a bombshell. I don't think I'd be able to prepare myself for just how devastating that would be to not only me, but my entire family.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
Okay.
Vous êtes prêts?
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Miller versus Rasmussen, when it comes to 3-year-old Zaylee Rasmussen, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful.
Sorry.
Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
Fallait pas réagir comme ça, meuf. C'est la dernière fois de ta vie que tu réagiras comme ça. Je peux te le dire tout de suite, c'est la dernière fois de ta vie que tu vas réagir de cette manière.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you or your child. That's a lot of nerve. You just showed me where your priorities were right there.
I'm sorry.
Because I held out hope that you weren't just acting a fool because you so mad at him because he cheated on you that you would cheat your child out of a father.
Cette femme, je l'aime. J'aime cette femme de toutes les fibres de mon corps. C'est incroyable. La réaction qu'elle a eue, elle était pas obligée. Mais waouh, c'est une dinguerie quoi, vraiment.
But that cheering you did, what you cheering? I'm a single mother with nobody that loves me or my child. What you cheering for?
Oh la douche froide. Oh la douche. Oh là 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 là, la douche froide, ah, ça fait très mal, hein. C'est l'ascenseur émotionnel.
I'm not.
No, you were! He is over here breaking down because he loves this child so much. I sit here day after day after day with women hoping a man would drive 16 miles to see their baby, much less 160 miles each way. And abide by a court order and sign a birth certificate and come day after day and week after week so they can grow visitation to have a relationship with a child.
Trop d'amour. J'ai trop d'amour pour cette femme. La vérité, là, elle a une calache à la place de la bouche et elle tire à balles réelles. La vérité, envoyez-lui de l'amour à cette femme. C'est une dinguerie.
And you have no compassion for not just him, but for Zaylee. She's 3 years old. Now, he's not just gonna be heartbroken. We gotta break this news to her. And y'all over here cheering like it's a sport. This is this baby's life. And I asked you, where's this other man? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh putain. Oh.
And you know he don't want nothing to do with you. Sitting up there cheering. Mr. Rasmussen, I am so sorry. I know this hurts you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't know what I'm gonna do. She's my whole world. Everything I do is for her. She was the reason I went to work every day.
Ouais, bah c'est bon, y a des jeux vidéo, y a la 4G que t'as soulevé à Las Vegas, tu vas t'en remettre.
I know you have a bond with her.
I feel like my whole world is in ruins now.
Oh. Miss Miller, I'm going to say this to you before I adjourn court. Your child deserves to know who her father is. Whether or not that man wants to be in her life, physically present and participate. He does have a legal obligation to help support her financially. It's important that you make this right. She'll one day ask, where is my father? Every action you take from this point will write the story that you will later have to tell her. I wish you the best of luck. We have counseling for you. Court is adjourned.
Incroyable. Incroyable. La vie de moi, incroyable. Non, non, c'est pas des acteurs, c'est des vraies personnes. C'est des vraies personnes, c'est vraiment arrivé et c'est la vraie vie aux États-Unis. C'est les émissions qu'ils ont, c'est comme ça, c'est la vie, j'y peux rien, c'est pas moi qui décide. Hein. Mais waouh! Waouh!